So if I did my job right, after the first 10 to 15 minutes, you should have a pretty good idea of what SnagIt is. And you can see I have the little SnagIt guy up here. I'm actually going to use SnagIt now to record my screen and obviously record my voice and show you some of the different features in WeVideo. So see how quickly I can get through this. Obviously, I'm not going to hit every single feature, but I will try to go over some of the main things. And you can see when I click on the little SnagIt icon up here, it shows me that I am currently recording. So first thing I'm going to do, obviously, is go to WeVideo. WeVideo makes it really nice when the kids are on the Chromebooks. Once they log in, they just simply click log in, and they can log in directly with their Google accounts. The first time you come to this screen, it's going to look a little bit different, especially if they've never used WeVideo before, because none of these things at the bottom will be here because these are all previous videos. The only option they'll really have on this first screen is create a new video. I have new video edit, so that's what I'm going to go to. Pretty much takes you to the exact same place. Little troubleshooting tip here, since we all know technology sometimes doesn't like to cooperate. That loading screen that you just saw, especially the first time you use WeVideo and it's kind of setting up your account, if you will, that screen sometimes takes a little bit longer than it just did there. So just be patient with it. This is the main screen that they'll see. The only big difference is the fact that these videos obviously won't be there. These are all videos from presentations that I did in previous years, so we could watch them back and then laugh at the kids when they're like playing with their hair or sweating profusely or about to cry and run out of the room. But this area will be completely blank. And I would assume that you're using WeVideo so the kids can record themselves or so you can record yourself. And all they really need to do then is they need to click the big giant record thing over here. So if they click record, this feature over here is not available because it's a premium feature. After messing around with the premium features a little bit, they don't seem to offer a whole lot more. So I personally don't feel like we're missing out on a ton of stuff by not having the paid for WeVideo. So all they're going to click is webcam. And obviously the Chromebooks all have a built-in webcam and microphone, so that makes it very easy. So they click webcam, they click continue, and then here we are on the screen. Now at the bottom here, you can see that it says record. They simply click record. You get the little countdown, and then pretty much whatever they're recording is what is the video that they're creating. So we'll stop recording. They can pretty much record for quite a while. We'll stop here. Now obviously I have a video, very flattering picture of me. What they need to do at this point is save the video. And once again, this sometimes takes a little bit longer than perhaps we would like it to, but since it is web-based software, it tends to take a little bit. So the processing and the saving of videos, and I'll get to that a little bit later, generally does take, or I would argue is the most frustrating part of WeVideo, but I haven't had too many problems with it at all, and I have had 15, 20 kids using it all at once. So we'll close out of this. So my video is all done. We'll close out. And at this point, my video should be at the very bottom of the screen. Here it is. You can see I had a couple other takes because I screwed it up. So we'll drag this down. Well, before I drag it, you can obviously see that once I click on a video, I can drop it into the delete if I don't want it, or I can share it. We don't have that feature because we don't have the premium. But if I would just want to add it to my storyboard, I just drag it down, put it there. I can also click add. I don't know why I choose to drag. Add is actually probably easier. Maybe I'm just an idiot. But once you have this down here, then you've started creating your video. This first slide you can delete, you can edit, and this is kind of just a title slide. So if you would click on this, you can go in here and add some sort of title to it. We're going to skip that for now. That's pretty self-explanatory. One thing that the kids do like to do, which makes it look a little bit more professional, makes it look a little bit cooler, is they like to add these different themes. And WeVideo comes already with, and I didn't spend the time to count them, but you can see that there are quite a few different specific themes, pre-made themes that they can click. We'll use, let's try Clean Steel. And I know it's tough to hear, but Clean Steel actually has some music in the background, and we'll click use this theme, and we'll talk a little bit about that music in a minute. If you want to add other music, you can certainly click on this, the little music symbol over here, And they do have a lot of free music, and then of course they have their premium music. The nice thing about WeVideo is that if you click up here at Upload Media, we'll click Upload. This is talking about my previous video. Upload more files. You can really take anything that you have on your computer or anything that you have in your Google Drive and drag it and drop it into WeVideo. So I had a number of kids that didn't like all of the different music WeVideo offered, so they included some of their own music. I had kids include some pictures from the internet or some personal pictures, stuff like that, in some of their presentations. So that's also a nice feature. And once they upload it, it will populate in this area up here just like the video itself does. So right now with this theme that we just added, it looks something like this. So this is basically my storyboard right now. So this is 5 seconds. My video itself is about 8 seconds. To preview what I have, I just click the little play button on the right, and then it says preparing your video. And if you listen closely, you can hear the music. And then, of course, there's my video. So we're not going to watch the whole thing. Now, one of the biggest issues that I found was that kids would add a theme or they would add music, and then next thing you know, the presentations or whatever they're actually saying in their video is being drowned out, and you can't hear anything that they're saying. The easiest way to combat that is to go up here to the left in the main menu, and if you scroll down into timeline mode, this is where it gets a little bit fancier. This is where you can actually do a bit more with WeVideo, and you can really kind of get into the nitty-gritty and edit some stuff. So you can see down here that I have my entire theme music, which came with this theme, whatever. I already forget what theme I picked. It's not really that important. But the theme music runs through the entire video. So you can see that my title slide's about 5 seconds, and you can see that the presentation itself is 11, 12, 13, about 14 seconds. So if I only want this theme music to run just on my title slide, very simply I click it, and then I can just drag it back and move it over here. Okay. Now the only thing that I really wish WeVideo would change a little bit is the fact that if I were to click back up here and jump back into storyboard mode, it doesn't really save this feature. So the only time I can actually preview this, or the only time I really want to save this, is if I would click up here on finish video. I would have to finish the video in the timeline mode to get this change to actually occur in the final product. If I jump back into storyboard mode and then I click the finish video, which I'm going to do momentarily, at that point this sound wouldn't stop there. Why WeVideo does that, I'm not really sure, but it is kind of a wacky feature. If you have kids that are advanced in WeVideo, or they want to overlay different audio, or they want to add pictures and do all kinds of cool stuff with it, I would strongly suggest that pretty much they always work in this timeline mode, because you can do a lot more in the timeline mode than you can in the storyboard mode. If you have more basic users, then I would certainly just use the storyboard mode, because for the most part it offers much of what you can do in here, except I think it makes it a little bit more user-friendly. So I'm actually going to jump back to storyboard mode. This is going to say we're not actually saving your changes and all of that until you flip back to timeline mode. So it doesn't save it in timeline mode, but not in storyboard mode. Like I said, that's kind of a weird feature. I don't really like that, but one of the only drawbacks to WeVideo. So once we're back in timeline mode, I'll show you a couple other things that you can do, and then I'll show you just how to save the video, and that's pretty much it. So the other thing that the kids really like is if you click the graphics up here, you can see that you are given a number of different options, and these actually move, and the kids go, oh my god, the video is moving. This is the most insane thing I've ever seen. So we'll just drag the clouds down. They all like the clouds. The boys always like the cars up here. So like if you look on the cars, I'll play it real quick. So they always like this, and then, oh my god, the screen's moving. This is unreal. So stop that. So right now I've added the clouds. Let's say I want to get rid of this title slide. Just delete it. The clouds right now you can see are 13 seconds. And let's say that I want to add a title to the clouds. So click edit, and I'll just put, this is my title slide. And done editing. Now, I don't want this to be 13 seconds. That's a lot of cloud watching. So we'll kind of cut this down. Let's say we'll cut it down to, let's keep going. Let's say 6 seconds, and then my video actually plays. This guy in here is a transition, and you can go in here and you can change the different transitions and things like that. I'm not going to get too much into that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but let's hop back and kind of see what our video looks like at this point. So this would be our whole video. And here's our preview. So it says this is my title slide, and there's my transition, and then get to my actual video itself. Okay. Now, the very last thing that I'll show you before we actually save this is I'll just show you a text slide. If they don't want all the fancy stuff and they just want a title or something to appear really big, they can just very simply go to one of these text slides. It gives you subtitles or where the text will actually show up. We'll just click on an end slide. We'll add an end slide, and we'll edit this end slide, and we'll go this, or we'll just put the end, which we all love when kids write this in their essays. Perfect. So this is the end slide. We'll click on editing, and my end slide right now is 4 seconds. So let's say right now we have our content. We have our intro slide with our title. We have whatever content we're trying to relate to the class or to whomever's watching this. Then we have our end slide, so we're good to go. This is where the kids generally go, okay, I'm done now. What do I do? So if you click up here on finish, it's going to ask you to title this. We're just going to save this as WeVideo Demo 1, since I think I have another one in there. So set. And this first part, special promotion, this allows you to save it 1080p with free, or 1080p free with no watermark, but you can only use it once, and then they want you to pay money. So I've had some success with 720 HD, which obviously looks a lot better than 480. But if they're going to save it to their Google Drive and WeVideo, I found that 480 generally works the best. So for now, I'm going to click 480. And you can see, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. You can see that right now it's telling me that the destination where it's going to save it is obviously in WeVideo. And I'm also going to save it. If they have a YouTube channel or something, they can certainly upload it there. I'm also going to save it to my Google Drive. And the reason I want to do that is because it will just automatically go into a folder in my Google Drive, and then I can share the video, which can be played on just about any type of media player, which is really good. So I don't necessarily, as a teacher or as another student, have to log into their WeVideo account to actually see the stuff that they've created. So all you do after that, I always save it to the Google Drive. Like I said, I think it makes life a lot easier. So I'm going to do after that is click Finish Video. And at this point, click OK. At this point, it's actually going to process the video, save the video, not only to WeVideo, but also to my Google Drive. Now, a couple things before we stop here and you have some time to play around. Number one, this screen will take the longest. So depending on how long your video is, it might take literally 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to render and save the video properly. Number two, what I've run into, since we all know how students are, we wait until the last minute, and next thing you know, it's we have 30 seconds, and then we have to leave class, and they just get to this screen now. What I've generally done in the past, and I really haven't had any problems, I just leave the Chromebooks up, and I kind of keep an eye on them. So the next kids are coming into the room. Generally, by the time the other kids are in the room and ready to use that Chromebook, this is completed, and I just tell the other kid to quickly log out of their account, log back into theirs. Okay. So hopefully this was helpful with WeVideo. Obviously, there's a ton of different features and other things that you can do with it, but this was a very basic overview. I'm a big believer in kind of giving the kids the opportunity to use it, because the first time I used it, I didn't know all of this stuff, and I'd say probably within 30 minutes, most of the kids in my room were proficient with using WeVideo, and I certainly plan to use this quite a bit throughout the year. And at this point, I really don't think I'm going to need to spend too much time explaining different things in WeVideo. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it and learned something.